In today's video, I'm answering some of the questions I get about life in Korea as a Danish girl. Am I leaving Korea? What happens after I graduate from Korea University? And will I stay here? What is life in Seoul really like? And how is life in Denmark for Korean people? The Korean food that shocked me the most? And much more. Guys, let's just get into it. If this is your first time here, let me introduce myself. My name is Celine. I'm a 27-year-old Danish girl, and I've been living mostly in Seoul since 2022. I'm currently finishing my master's at Korea University and figuring out what's next. I started this YouTube channel to share my perspective on life between Denmark and Korea. My 40,000 subscribers are smart, active, and internationally curious people. So if that sounds like you, welcome to the channel. Okay, let's start this Q&A with a bang. Am I leaving Korea after graduation? I understand why people wonder this because in my previous Korea University video, I titled it as my final semester at Korea University. So obviously people think that means I'm gonna leave. Everyone in my comments were saying, oh, she's gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave, guys. At least I don't want to leave, okay? I'm only gonna leave this country if anything is gonna physically kick me out. Staying in Korea after graduation is my biggest wish. So that leads me to the next question. What kind of career or job do you want after graduation? It's not a simple answer, so let me try to break it down for you. What I'm thinking and why my mind is changing a little bit. And maybe you can help me think. After spending nearly 6 years studying business, there's no doubt that I'm really passionate about international business strategy. On paper, the ideal path would be to work in consulting between Northern Europe and Korea, either in a company or independently. But let me be honest with you. I'm graduating soon, in August 2026, and if I go straight into a full-time job like that, this channel probably wouldn't exist in the same way anymore. Because right now, I'm spending a lot of time, energy and money filming and editing everything myself. And realistically, that's not something I can maintain with a full-time career. But we will come back to this at the end of the video. The questions I'm answering today are actually connected to this decision. I've come out to the park to answer some of your questions. The weather is so good today. So, have you ever felt lonely or struggled living in Korea? Of course, yes. I think in the very beginning when I first came here, it was a bit lonely to walk around and see how most of dinner places was like 고깃집 or 삼겹살 or something where you have to be more than one person. Everyone kept asking me, oh, have you tried Korean barbecue? Have you tried Korean barbecue? And I hadn't because I didn't have any friends to go with. So that was a bit lonely. Would you recommend Koreans to study or move to Denmark? I really recommend studying in Denmark. I think you get such a great university experience. And I think you learn a lot. I think you learn how to use your brain. I think you learn how to reflect and evaluate and criticize and defend yourself. Go to some of the major universities in Copenhagen. If you have the chance, do it. If you don't have the chance, find a way to do it. You can do a working holiday, which is basically a 1-year visa where you can work and then you can spend the rest of the time to travel around or explore different things. And I really recommend that too. For moving to Denmark or just any Scandinavian country, you just have to understand, and I think it's difficult for people, but we are really small countries. Like there are 6 million people in Denmark. That's less than Seoul City. So we don't have that many houses, we don't have that many jobs. We don't have that many needs, you know, we're not the most like over-consumer countries ever. So if you're not ready to fight for a place to live, for a good job, for whatever, you shouldn't go there. Because it's not easy, it's honestly not. If you're a strong person, do it. If you're not, maybe don't. Is the law of Jente still relevant in Denmark? So you definitely have this same concept in East Asian culture and Korean culture, but it's just a little bit different in Denmark because, in my opinion at least, it seems like here it's more because of the hierarchy here that you can make yourself sound superior to someone who is actually better educated or older or somehow superior to you. But in Denmark, we can't do that. I can say to my professor, if I don't agree with his opinions, you know, I can talk back to my mom if I don't agree with what she's saying to me, and I don't have to address her politely. So I just think it makes more sense here. Let me try to give you an example of what exactly this law is, this Jente law, because it's not just that. Obviously, if anyone says, I think I'm so smart, I think I'm so pretty, it's a bit like, okay, like, good for you, you know. But it's more of a behavior thing, in my opinion. You know, in the subway in the morning, or in the bus or whatever, we often see Korean women, and also myself now, who sometimes touches up their makeup or even does their whole makeup in the subway, which I think is great. Like, spend your time wisely. If you did that in Denmark, in the bus or in the subway or something, people would they would not think, oh, she probably didn't have much time this morning, or oh, she probably has an important meeting this morning. They would think, who does she think she is? What is this princess behavior? Where does she think she's going looking like that? It's just that kind of thing that if you can visibly see that other people are doing something to themselves to make themselves look better, other people are not comfortable with it. And I hate that. I think that's ridiculous. Like, if I see a girl doing her makeup, I'm gonna just be like, oh, that's a pretty color. Like, where can I get that lip gloss, you know? Even in Korea, there's a lot of people taking selfies. You know, when the cherry blossoms are out, people are bringing like selkapong and samgakdae to take their photos. But if I walked around with my long selfie stick in Denmark, I can just feel it that people would think, who does she think she is? Because they can see I'm filming myself, right? Problem is not that I'm doing the YouTube channel or filming myself. The problem is that I'm doing that in front of other people. So that kind of self-centeredness or self-promotion or people don't like. And they're not gonna agree with you that they don't like it, but they don't. I hope this explanation made sense. And I think it's a really interesting dynamic that I would love to just delete. What has been your most memorable moment in Korea so far? I can think of 1,000 good memories that I've had here. But if I have to choose only one thing, probably the trip I had to Jeju Island with my best friend Michelle from Denmark. It was her second time visiting, and we spontaneously booked a trip to Jeju for 4 days. And we stayed there in different areas of the island, and we rented a car. We drove around, had like the best time. The weather was so nice. We visited all the perfect beaches. We swam in the ocean. We had so many ice creams. We listened to our favorite music. It was just perfect. But it's looking absolutely beautiful. Can you make a guide of your favorite places and recommendations in Korea, such as restaurant, bars, stores, experiences, and more? I can, and you know what? I am. It's not going to be done by the time this video comes out, but if you do want to be the first one to get it, you can sign up on the waitlist in the comment section of this video, because I will leave a link there. You just put your email, and then when it's ready, I will send you an email. That's it, very simple. Ta-da! Let's do a little 배달 먹방 and talk Korean food for a second. Okay, let me show you this mukbang selection. We have our tongtong kimbap, and then I have some, you're gonna think I'm crazy. I always eat this kimbap with jalapenos that are drizzled with gochugaru and chamgye. Sorry. I have kanjang and wasabi with sikcho. It's very fusion, but it's so good. So if you ever order from this place, so I ordered 2 kimbaps, and I always eat 반반. So pan is bulgogi with hyunmi, and pan is chamji with hyunmi. And they look like this. Ta-da! Kanjang wasabi, jalapeno. I have my laptop over here with the questions about Korean food. And the first one is, what is your favorite Korean food and what was the hardest to enjoy? I think my favorite Korean food, I've said this before, is any kind of sambap style hanshik. I love the banchan, a lot of banchan, and I love some wrapping meats and a little bit of rice, a little bit of soup. I just love everything. And I feel like when you eat any kind of sambap, you get everything. So, what is the hardest to enjoy? Americanized, American-influenced Korean food like budae or heavily fried foods, or those kind of American cheesy style foods. That's not really my vibe. I like hanshik. Is there any food in Korea that shocked you at first? Yes, I think the live octopus was like a bit shocking to me. Also the bundegi, when I saw that for the first time at Dongmyo, I was like, oh
What is that? It's still not anything for me, but I am used to seeing this now. And also, I'm a white girl, you know, white people, they're so sensitive to food. They're such like, they can't handle anything. So I think I've gotten accustomed. What do you think about Korea's delivery culture, and what is your favorite delivery food? So I actually worked in a delivery company for 2.5 years in Denmark, back when delivery food were becoming a big thing there. So I was working in dispatching, checking the whole process of it. I know everything about delivery, how delivery companies work. I have a huge respect for the people who deliver the food in Korea, that somehow after 4 years here and maybe 50 plus orders, I have never gotten anything wrongly delivered, which is crazy because that happened all the time in Denmark, honestly. You guys know I like to cook, so I don't order food that much. Any kind of Korean food, I would rather go out to eat it. If any of you have jalapenos at home, can you please order a kimbap and try to eat it with jalapenos and tell me if it's not the best combo ever. It's so good. I will just eat a bit of this and then I'll take you guys for a run and then we'll talk a bit more about life in Korea or Denmark. Let's see. I came to the Cheonggyecheon to run, but there's so many people. I don't think it's possible to run here. So maybe I'll have to do another route. I don't know. But the weather is so nice, so it's so understandable. Okay, I don't know who is filming something, but guys, this is the level of production I need for my YouTube. Which leads me to the next question. Would I ever go on a broadcasted TV show in Korea? Well, it sounds really intimidating, but I actually would. If it's about something that I am passionate about and that you guys are interested in, so travel, Danish or Korean culture, hiking, skiing, cooking, yes, I actually would. Wouldn't it be fun to fly my Danish mom out and show her around Korea on a broadcasted TV show? But maybe that's wishful thinking. Sorry about my sweaty face, but I made it to the Dongdaemun part of Cheonggyecheon. One of the questions was if I feel safe in Korea and how that affects my life satisfaction here. And I just want to say, the fact that I can go on a run at 10 p.m. on a random Thursday in the middle of the city without feeling scared at all, surrounded by thousands of people who are just having a good time, it is just the biggest value ever of living here, honestly. Even though I haven't talked to anyone, obviously, like, why would I? I think I've seen more people tonight than there is in my whole hometown, which is crazy to think about. So the fact that I can do things like this here, it just expands the value of the whole day, because, you know, in Denmark, when the sun sets, especially in the winter at like 3-4 p.m. and it's dark and I'm in the countryside or wherever I am, I can't really, like, the day's done, you know, you can't really do much. But here, the city is lit up nicely everywhere. There are so many small initiatives going on. There's so many people out running. There's so many people out having picnics, going for walks with their dogs, and just using the city so nicely. And that is just what I love. Like, as an ISTJ, I can just be a loner, but amongst 10,000 people, if that makes sense. So I love that. And also, I'm sitting here in the middle of so many people and I'm just filming with a huge flashlight outside, and look, nobody cares. Everyone is just minding their business and enjoying their day, and that's why I love Seoul. So that answers 2 questions in this Q&A at once. Also, I have forgotten my transportation card, so I'm gonna have to take a taxi home because I already ran 6 kilometers to get here. So yeah, it's enough. One more thing about that, it's not even that, you know, of course there are also many big cities in Europe and whatever where there are a lot of people at night, but it's also just the fact that the people who are here and are having a good time along the stream or wherever in Seoul, really, like, they're not scary, you know, they're not threatening you or harassing you or doing anything crazy or doing drugs or are super, okay, some of them are really drunk, but they mind their business, you know. You don't feel threatened by anyone in the same way as you do sometimes in London, New York, Paris, you know. So, like, there's a lot of people in a good way, if that makes sense. 안녕하세요. Do you have any life plans or goals you really want to achieve? Yes, I want to wake up every single day for the rest of my life and love what I'm about to do. I think my worst fear is waking up and feeling like, today I just have to get it over with. It's almost the weekend, you know. No, I want to enjoy every single day. I want to be excited to learn something. I want to be excited to get up. I want to be excited to have my cup of green tea and my breakfast and really love what I'm waking up for. And I think that drive helps me so much with setting boundaries for what I spend my time on, who I spend my time with, what I eat, what I do, everything. Because if you want the best for yourself every single day, you also have to do what's best for yourself all the time.
So, as you can probably tell, it's really important for me to do work that feels meaningful. And honestly, I have never felt happier than when I'm making YouTube videos. Yes, sometimes I'm exhausted from editing, sometimes I cry because it feels too difficult.
I'm just out for a little jog/walk thing because I've been at university all day from 9 until 5, and then I edited all of evening, and now it's midnight. It's so late that they even turned off the Namsan Tower.
But this is the only thing I've ever done where time just disappears. I don't mind spending an entire weekend in front of my laptop editing. It makes me wonder, would a full-time office job ever make me feel the same way? And maybe you're thinking, Celine, aren't you just making silly videos like convenience store trips, travel, everyday life? How is that meaningful? And I get it. I even thought the same myself. But then I read your messages from local Koreans who want to improve their English and use my videos to learn and discover new cultures, or who are curious about life in Northern Europe. From a skier who got injured and found motivation to start training again after watching my Haiwon videos in the winter. From Koreans abroad who haven't seen much of Korea but feel connected through our shared foreign perspective. Graduates of Korean universities looking for old friends in the comments. An aspiring student dreaming of coming here one day too. Or even just that my mom and my grandmother can see what I'm doing out in the big world by myself. So when I read things like that, that's when it feels meaningful to me. And it makes me want to take my YouTube channel to a whole new level.
I don't know why I'm crying, but I just got a comment. Whoever you are, thank you for making this comment. 감사합니다. I don't know if this clip is gonna make it into any video, but I just wanted to capture my feeling because it's just fun. Like, this is the fun part of doing YouTube, and this is the fun part of doing something that's difficult and you commit to it and you keep going, and then it pays off in these small random ways every now and then, and I just love that. So thank you for leaving this comment. I will continue to work hard. So 고마워요.
So what do you think? Do you think I should give it a shot and see how things go? Or get an office job, living a bit more comfortably with a stable paycheck? Regardless of the correct answer, I have no intention of leaving Korea anytime soon. Actually, I feel like my life here is just getting started. I have never felt as welcome in this country as I do now thanks to you guys, so thank you for being here. There was a lot of information in this video, so let's just continue the talk in the comment section. So I will talk to you there or in my next video. Bye bye!